Right now, in Bangladesh, an entire nation is holding its breath. You see, this isn't just another election cycle, not even close. It's what comes after a revolution. Today, we're going to look at how a country is trying to piece together a new future from the ashes of a really dramatic political collapse.
Okay, first, let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale of this thing. We are talking about 127 million people who are eligible to vote. An entire nation is being asked to chart its course. And a number that big, well, it represents so much hope, but also, you got to imagine, a whole lot of anxiety about what's coming next.
And, this quote from an expert on the ground really captures the feeling perfectly. They're calling it D-Day, a new beginning. So this isn't just about politics as usual, it's being seen as a total reset for the whole country.
So the big question is, how did we even get to this point? Well, the path to this election was paved by a dramatic, youth-led uprising that completely flipped the country's political world on its head.
This timeline really lays it out. Think about it. After 15 straight years of rule by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, a massive uprising, led by students, just explodes onto the scene in July of 2024. By August, her government was gone and she'd fled the country. And that leads us to where we are today, the very first election under a new interim government.
But this is something we just can't gloss over. The human cost of this change was immense. Over 1,400 people were killed. That number isn't just a data point. It represents this incredible, intense pressure on the new government to prove that those sacrifices actually meant something.
To really get what sparked all this, though, you have to look past the politics. The real fuel for this fire? It was deep, widespread economic frustration. For millions of people, this election isn't about some grand ideology. It's about being able to put food on the table.
I mean, you talk about Bangladesh's economy, you're really talking about one thing, the garment industry. I mean, it is the undisputed backbone of the entire country. It employs millions and brings in almost all of the country's export money. So when this one sector struggles, everybody feels it.
And this chart, wow, it just shows you how true that is. A staggering 80% of all the money Bangladesh makes from exports comes from this one industry. On one hand, that makes the economy incredibly powerful, but on the other, it makes it incredibly vulnerable.
And then a massive shockwave hits the system in the form of U.S. tariffs. Factory owners literally called it a big disaster. All of a sudden, duties shot up to a crippling 37%. A jump like that led to 6 straight months of falling exports and just immense financial pain all across the country.
And this is where all those big macroeconomic forces hit home. A factory worker put it this plainly: it is becoming impossible to support a family with what we earn. Wages just were not keeping up with the insane cost of living. It was that simple.
So, when you boil it all down, this is what's really on people's minds. Voters are heading to the polls thinking about the price of groceries, not just political speeches. That daily struggle to make ends meet has become the single most powerful issue in this entire election.
Now, all that economic anxiety, all that frustration, it found its most powerful voice in a whole new generation. We're talking about the rise of a new political force, the one that was at the very heart of that 2024 uprising, Gen Z.
And the numbers here are just mind-boggling. Nearly a third, 28% of Bangladesh's entire population is between 15 and 29 years old. This isn't just a demographic slice. It's a political tidal wave that could absolutely decide the outcome.
And you have to remember, for so many of them, this is it. This is their first real taste of democracy. Previous elections were seen by many as complete shams. So this is the first chance for up to 40 million young people to cast a vote that actually matters. They have been waiting for this.
So what is it they want? Well, it's not just about swapping out the faces in government. They are demanding fundamental change. They want a fair shot at a job, a government that's actually accountable to its people, and the basic freedom to speak their minds without being afraid. This quote from a 21-year-old voter just says it all. It's a demand for a modern future. They're not just asking for any old job, they're asking for the skills and the tools to compete on a global stage. This is a generation with some serious ambition.
Okay, so you've got the uprising, the economic crisis, this massive youth movement. It all sets the stage for what happens next. And the challenges facing whatever government comes into power are, to put it mildly, immense.
Now, with the former ruling party banned from this election, the whole game has changed. The main fight now is between two major opposition groups, the more mainstream Bangladesh Nationalist Party, or BNP, and a coalition led by the Islamist party, Jamaat-e-Islami. And you can bet both of them are scrambling to win over that giant block of young voters.
Ultimately, whoever wins this thing is going to inherit a country that is absolutely desperate for change. The pressure to fix the economy, to create jobs, and to deliver on that promise of a more open government, it's not just going to be high, it's going to be immediate, and it's going to be intense.
And that really leaves us with the central question, doesn't it? After a revolution that was fueled by so much hope, can one election, just one, actually deliver the fundamental new settlement that an entire generation fought for on the streets? The answer to that is going to define Bangladesh's future.